Hello all, I'm Alyssa. I also go by Lyss or Alsira, whichever's okay. If you are new here, welcome. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. This video will be slightly different as it is a part 2 to a previous video. More specifically, an updated video. You see, a while ago I made a video on the Sonic 3 trailer, where I rearranged clips from that trailer into what I thought would be a chronological sequence of the film. At that time, I did not know the film's exact runtime, but now we do. 1 hour and 49 minutes. Before we move on, I thought I'd give a little intro about myself. I'm Alyssa, as I said before. I run this channel, I make all the videos, I edit the content. Most of what you see in the background is me doing art. And I like to make videos on what I like to talk about. If you have a topic you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments down below. Back to the video. To be honest, I felt the runtime was a bit short, but I guess it makes sense when you consider the pacing and inclusion of characters and storylines. It's going to be action-packed, no room for fillers. Plus, animation costs a lot. I can imagine the budget of a second movie. I'll be using the same film theory from last time, which is Sid Field's 3-act structure. The results from this video may look similar to the previous video. If you'd like to see the first video on the first trailer, I'll link it down below in the description, or maybe the pinned comment. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to go over every single screenshot. What I will do is put them in a slideshow and I'll talk over them, talking a little bit about each scene we see in both trailers. I'll also talk about key moments that were included in the second trailer that weren't shown in the first trailer. If there are any screenshots from the trailers that aren't shown in this video, it's most likely that I couldn't find a place for them. I took some time with this video, y'all gotta bear with me. Additionally, I will also be going over some of the TV spots, as well as small scenes shown in interviews. I will give my opinion on that later on. Before we move on, a little disclaimer. This is purely speculation based on what we have. This is my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong on my predictions. You do not have to agree with me. Let's keep the comments civil, okay? If I spy a fight, I will delete the comments. Also, something I want to point out. I started writing the script shortly after the second trailer was released. I was working with a lot of information as well as some of the TV spots that kept coming up. I also had stuff going on in my life. Not to mention, I was also working on another video. This video may not be as updated as you would like it to be. I cannot appease everyone. I do have a minor in film and video studies for my undergrad. I am not an expert. I am not immune to criticism. Nobody is. That being said, my comment section is always for discussion and interpretation. As I said before, I keep it civil. Here is the graphic I used from last time. It's a very simplified version of Sid Field's 3-act structure. And here is the second graph, is a little more specific. First act. Based on what occurred in the previous movie, we'll probably be introduced into Shadow's awakening in the facility. He breaks out of his cell, beats up gun agents, and flees on water. Opening credits. Segue into Sonic and friends hanging out. I'm assuming that Commander Walters invites the team to Japan and acts to track down Shadow. And we're at the Chow restaurant. And then we see one of Eggman's robots attack the restaurant, so you're like, what's going on? We'll come back to that scene. Anyways, Shadow is caught by a gun and chaos ensues. Segue to Shadow beating up Team Sonic. I have a feeling that this whole prediction is going to be wrong, and I'm definitely okay with that because, how? What? Huh?
I'm sorry, what?
Act 2. After being defeated by Shadow, Sonic and friends turn to an unlikely familiar face, Eggman. Since his last defeat from Super Sonic, Eggman really let himself go. I get it. It's a humiliating defeat helped by team effort. Something he never learned. Anywho, Sonic and friends join forces with Eggman to help take down, before accepting a token, of course. Gee, I wonder what he's gonna do with that. With the use of the ring, Sonic and Eggman go searching for answers, a way to stop Shadow and save the world. I don't know where they go, but somehow they end up in an abandoned laboratory and I assume Eggman meets Gerald Robotnik, his grandfather. Similar to the previous movie, I think we all know eventually that the Robotniks team together and along with Shadow betray Team Sonic, to which the Woodland Trio escape their doom and arrive home. Here, their parents, Tom and Maddie, are recruited to join the fight. Now we're in England. The Ark rises from the River Thames. I must say it like that. Team Dark, which is the Robotnik, Stone, and Shadow, plots their revenge while in space, and I guess Shadow has memories about his past with Maria, believing that he will avenge her by destroying the world. We see Agent Stone on the ground. He looks up to the Ark rising. I think he was against the idea of destruction, or maybe he was looking out for the team as they were powering up the Ark. Either way, he's not with them. Maybe he'll finally realize how much Eggman really cares about him. Moving on, the Ark is being powered up as an Eclipse Cannon, one of Joel Robotnik's greatest creations. It's powered up by the 7 Chaos Emeralds. It is so powerful it broke off a part of the moon. This is where things get a little confusing for me. Final act. I don't know how the story will end. The only people who know are the ones involved in the movie. The most climactic and dramatic moments will occur in the third act, or close to the end of the second act. The moments I'm referring to are the clashes between Sonic and Shadow. I don't know when these will take place, but I feel they will be drawn out to the second part of Act 2 and much of Act 3. As you can tell from this graphic, there's not much going on that I really had. And that's okay. For an hour and 49 minutes, we have a lot going on. At the very end of Act 2, I show Sonic grabbing hold of Shadow's motorbike. I think Sonic is trying to get Shadow on his side, and Shadow's not having any of it. Also to note, the motorbike belongs to Gun, Guardian Units of Nations. So my guess is that Shadow must have left the Robotniks and joined Gun, despite what they've done to him. Then we see this very volcanic area. Let's call it the damaged part of the moon. It's very tense. The final scenes are on this graphic, maybe a bit spoilerish, so if you don't want to see it or hear it, I'll give you a timestamp. We see both hedgehogs reaching out for the Chaos Emeralds. Then we see the Eclipse Cannon firing up, and if you look very closely, you'll see two little bright spots. For those of us who are fans and know about the lore, I think we know who those little bright spots are. So eventually, it seems that Shadow somehow gave in and helped Sonic and save the world. I wonder who gave him the little pep talk, and I also wonder if it's going to end up the same way it usually ends. Before I move on, I want to get back to the scene I placed in Act 1. It's a scene where one of Eggman's robots appear at the Shadow restaurant. If we're going to follow the chronology of this film, it would be safe to say that this scene couldn't possibly happen in Act 1. But maybe Act 3 as the Robotniks return? I don't know. I do know that Jeff Fowler, the directors of the film, worked on the CGI scenes for the games of Shadow the Hedgehog. I know this very film was his dream, and Shadow is one of his favorite characters in the canon. Given that this year is called the Year of the Shadow or Year of the Fearless, I wonder what this means for a character like Shadow in relation to the viewer. What does Shadow mean to us? He comes off edgy on the outside, but when we learn about his tragic past and everything that led up to where he is through video games, through comics and manga, through shows and films, he becomes so much more than what's on the outside. I've gone into depth about this in my video, Why I Like Shadow the Hedgehog. Before I reach the conclusion of this video, I would like to say this. Some of these screenshots were taken from TV spots uploaded to YouTube, and most of these there have been scenes that either slightly extended or new clips have been added in. Some of us felt that these TV spots were somewhat spoiling the movie. I see where they're coming from, but we gotta look at the source material. These movies take a very loose adaptation from their source material, just like every other adaptation of the Sonic lore. I was expecting some scenes from Sonic Adventure 2 to be replicated into film version, but hey, that would be redundant. There's a reason why this franchise is still thriving. No matter how many new scenes we may see in the TV spots, we still have to figure out how each one connects. A film adaptation taking a different approach to the lore is not a new thing. In fact, I think it helps expand on the world building and milieu on the franchise, just like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, whose sequel I am looking forward to. Speaking of film adaptations on nostalgic franchises, I learned through Wikipedia the live-action film of Beyblade is in pre-production. I am looking forward to that as well. It's also being produced by the same studios that brought the Sonic the Hedgehog film series, Paramount Pictures. As some of you may know, this channel started off with anime music videos of the Beyblade anime, both the original and animated series. I wonder if the film will be a direct copy of the original series or if it'll take a different approach. I'll do more research on that and possibly make a new video on it. It's an understatement to say I'm excited for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It's monumental in my opinion, it's going to be iconic. I've been looking forward to this film since the first one was released. I have tremendous respect to the crew and Paramount Pictures for bringing this creation to the big screen. The first attempt taught the studios exactly how much we the fans care about our blue friend. We live and learn from our mistakes. I know I will have the time of my life in theaters and I cannot wait to see what happens next. My prediction is probably Metal Sonic since we saw Sonic give Eggman a quill. Initially I thought Silver would be next, but we gotta get through everything, you know? Maybe Sonic 5 will feature Silver and Blaze. Some updated info. I learned from a recent convention that the crew attended that there will be multiple post-credit scenes. Okay. We're being fed with Christmas and New Year's. This is the best birthday present ever. Make my day and buy my book. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I worked really hard on this video and did everything I could to upload it before the movie's release. Links such as affiliate links are in my link tree down below in the description. If you like to commission art for me, feel free to go to my Ko-fi. You can also buy my debut poetry collection, Kaleidoscope, through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Blurb. I also have a second poetry collection that will be out soon, next year. If you have a topic you'd like me to talk about, let me know in the comments down below. With that said and done, make sure to hydrate and be safe. Bye!